I was born in England, May 17, 1980. At the age of 6, my parents got divorced and me, my brother and my mother moved to Holland, and I've lived here ever since. My fighting career started when I was 15. My brother took me to the gym to learn how to defend myself. In the beginning I didn't really like it. I got my ass kicked, but after Bas Rutten, Joop Kasteel, Andrew Houtvein, that were the people who we trained with, my brother Valentijn Overeem. Yeah, they kept motivating me, and after a while I started to like it. It went better, your technique improves. Well, within a couple of years I was smacking them around, dominating them. So that was the changing point, and I started to like it. At the age of 17 I had my first professional kickboxing fight, or K1 rules fight. First fight, it's dated 15 November 97. I can remember being really proud of this, and I still am. My first MMA fight was when at the age of 19. It was against Ricardo Vieira. Strong guy, experienced, had already fought in Japan on the rings. Was known for knocking people out in the first engagement. So a very dangerous striker. Really trained hard, and my team really pushed me. Especially my trainer, Peter Hoopman, he was my first Sauno trainer. And I really created the mentality of do or die. Never give up, never surrender. I submitted him in 90 seconds of the first round.
Beginner by submission, Alistera Overeima.
Rings Japan was the organization in Japan to fight. Fighters such as Rodrigo Nogueira fought there. Fedor Emelianenko has started his career under the rings banner. Randy Couture fought there, and of course my brother. And that's how I ended up there. He's 4 years older. At the age of 19 he fought for the first time on the rings. And at that time I was 15. I really looked up to him, he was my idol. He was a prototype MMA fighter, could fight standing up, could wrestle, could do submissions. He could already do a little bit of everything. And after my first win, I got my chance in rings. It was a substitution fight. I fought against Yuri Kochkin, and I did lose the fight, but it was a good fight. It was a good performance. And the Rings Japan people were happy with that performance, and they offered me a contract. That was my dream. I mean, I was the rookie. I was 19 at the time when I went to rings for the first time in Japan. Yeah, it's very exciting. At the same time, you have a lot to learn, a lot to adapt to. The level was extremely high, so I had to learn a lot of new techniques, a lot of new defenses, a lot of new attacks. So, but I felt up to it. I felt ready for it, and that made me the fighter that I am today. Well, the Dutch episode was basically I defeat everybody who came in front of me. At first it was at Showtime events. They're doing the K1 shows now in Amsterdam. Then I fought under the Rings banner, Ring Holland banner, and I fought mostly under the Too Hot to Handle banner. And basically I defeated everybody in the first round fairly easy when I look back up on it. Yeah, with a highlight of becoming world champion light heavyweight, Too Hot to Handle in 2004. Well, Roddy Verveers was a tough guy. Good stand-up, ground a little bit less, but good takedown defense. He was strong in the clinch, very strong conditioning, and basically he defeated everybody in Holland, and it was him versus me, because I beat everybody and he beat everybody. I just trained my ass off. Although it was very tough, it was an easy fight when I look back on it. 90 seconds of the first round I tapped him, and again with the other. Pride was the premier organization in the world at that time. Now it's defunct, it's not there anymore. But at the time it was awesome. It was, even when you compare it to the top shows today, it was groundbreaking. First fight was against Volkatayev, a very technical, very experienced heavyweight fighter from Russia. Yeah, the first fight is just awesome. There's 50,000 people looking at you when you come down the catwalk. It's so different than the Dutch arenas or the rings, Japan arenas even. This was massive. This was huge.
Batman is in trouble. Batman is there. Look out! Now!
The Pride Light Heavyweight Grand Prix of 2005. This was the most awesome lineup ever. You had 16 of the best fighters in the world: Wanderlei Silva, Sakuraba, I was in there, Igor Vovchanson, Vitor Belfort, Shogun, Quinton Rampage Jackson. Everybody was at their prime. And they were all ready for that championship title. There were no weak players in that tournament. So it was the best of the best. And it was one of my highlights. I did good. I choked out Vitor Belfort, who never got choked out before that. I choked out Igor Vovchanson, who never got choked out. And eventually I lost to Shogun, almost choking him out. But I didn't. I failed the guillotine choke. And I became third. That was a great experience. Best tournament ever, in my opinion. After the Light Heavyweight Grand Prix of 2005, immediately Pride put me against the second of the heavyweights. Being a light heavyweight, it was a very big risk, but I accepted it. I hadn't fought in 6 months and I was very hungry. They put me against Sergey Kharitonov. Very anticipated fight, but again I was the underdog. But I did destroy him very badly with via knee strikes on the ground. But after that fight came my big downturn. My fights were being less successful. I was losing fights against people I didn't have to lose to. This was due to private circumstance. There was some stuff on my mind which kept me from focusing completely on training. Well, what were these things? First of all, my mother got sick. She got cancer. That's just heartbreaking when you find out about that. Second of all, my body was overtrained. I had done in 2006 6 fights in 6 months. When you do that, you get injuries left and right. They don't heal. Before they'll heal up, you're going to fight again. So I had a period of overtraining. Well, my daughter was born, a very happy event at itself, but she was a crybaby for the first 6 months. So that was hard. And all of that combined resulted in me losing a series of fights, which I didn't have to lose.
Overeem is hurt. Did not want to take her now throwing in the towel.
Oh my goodness.
So obviously
I started to think about stuff. Why am I losing? What is going wrong? Well, in the meantime, my mother was still sick. Slowly recovering, but I just had a lot of thought about a lot of stuff, and I started to change things. Started to change things drastic. I changed my trainers. I changed the relationship because that was draining my energy. I changed the weight class. I went up. I went from light heavyweight to heavyweight. Being a natural heavyweight, cutting the weight cost a lot of energy. My previous trainer was in favor of doing that, but it wasn't working out anymore. I wasn't feeling comfortable with it anymore, so I chose to go to heavyweight. It was a plan all along to fight in light heavyweight first, and then later on in my career go to heavyweight. That would grant me a whole new array of new opponents. Dream was the new organization. I'm getting more comfortable with the weight. I gained like 5 kilos already. I fought against Lee. After that, fought against Hunt. After that, fought against Krokop. And yeah, my fights went really well. I was finishing people as I was doing in the beginning, at the start of my career. After my Crow Cup fight, Badr Hari came into the ring. He was present at the event, he was looking at the fight. He came into the ring and he challenged me. I of course didn't accept because I'm an MMA fighter. And I challenged him to an MMA fight, which he didn't accept. After the K1 Grand Prix, he got disqualified in the finals against the fighter Brandon by a foot stomp on the ground. It rang a bell on me. Hey, wait a minute, you like to use MMA techniques. So I publicly challenged him. Hey, you're doing MMA techniques, let's fight. He declined. He challenged me against a K1 fight, so I made the idea, why don't we do a K1 fight and an MMA fight? We do both. And I will start by doing the K1 fight first. I will fight in your rules first. And he accepted. And that's how the K1 fight against Badr Hari came about in Dynamite 2008. In the summer of 2009, the fans voted for the final 16. They had 3 wild cards which they could vote upon. And my name was on top of the list. So I decided, well, let's do this for the fans. I mean, there's always been a thing for the fans. You know, their opinion always has been at heart to me. And that's how I entered the final 16, the K1 Grand Prix of 2009. When I heard that I was going to face Peter Arts in the final 16, a couple of things went through my mind. Great fighter, a great champion, and a great opportunity for me to show the people what I got. First fight versus Teixeira was very explosive. It was a very calm fight until that confrontation came, and then it was over before it started. The semi-final of the K1 Grand Prix 2009 was very exciting. It was a rematch versus Badr Hari. It was a little bit of disappointment. You know, you trained so hard, you've come so far, and the fight was far from over. But the referee, yeah, they just take it away, and yeah, I think the K1 stole themselves from a great fight, because that fight was far from over. I was far from being knocked out. After the Pride Grand Prix, Light Heavyweight Grand Prix of 2005, I got invited to Strikeforce. This was a young organization at the time, and they were interested in doing a rematch between me and Vitor Belfort. I accepted. I was under a non-exclusive deal, as I am now, and fought under the Strikeforce banner. It was a very exciting fight. Vitor came more prepared than I fought him the first time, and I won. I won on decision. Because of that excellent fight, a year later I got invited for the Strikeforce heavyweight title against Paul Buentello. Paul Buentello was a very tough guy. I beat him for 8.5 minutes, and eventually he got TKO'd on the knee strikes to the body. What a tough guy. First title defense of my Strikeforce belt came in 2010 versus Brett Rogers. He challenged me for my belt. It was a very strong, big guy with a lot of impressive wins. He only lost to Fedor. I trained my ass off for 4 months of training camp, and I showed the world that I'm still the undisputed Strikeforce heavyweight champion, and that belt is going to stay with me for a long time. I've had a lot of achievements, a lot of fights all over the world in many different organizations. What keeps me going? What is my drive? What is my motivation? Well, I love to fight. There's still a lot of achievements which I want to get. There's the Dream title, there's the K1 title, and ultimately the UFC title. And of course, I'm making money.